Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Do you want to play Dungeons & Dragons but you're stuck in 2020? Do you want to scratch that itch but don't have the money or a fancy enough computer to run Baldur's Gate 3? Well, I have some news for you. Today, we are talking about a Steam game called Solasta, Crown of the Magister. This game is made by Tactical Adventures and is currently in early access, starting from October 20th. This game is a passion project that started out on Kickstarter and continues to grow thanks to the loyal and happy fanbase that has received the game. It currently has a very positive status on Steam, and for good reason. When you load up the game, you'll be greeted with a new campaign that requires you to choose 4 adventurers, which you can choose from the pre-generated heroes, or you can customize your own party members. Looking through the custom creation, it gives you quite a few options. There are 5 total races to choose from, 3 of which have sub-races to add a little more flavor. Many of the races have similar features to what you'd see from the 5e Player's Handbook, but their sub-races start to show where their homebrew-styled campaign planning comes in. The dwarves have their northern counterparts, snow dwarves, halflings get the coastal sub-race of island halflings, and elves get their forested brethren via sylvan elves. After choosing a race, you'll get a class. One of 6 to pick from: Cleric, Fighter, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, and Wizard. While deciding your class, you can alter their starting equipment and take a look at the many types of archetypes they can choose in the future. Solasta has added quite a few of their own subclasses that I've only begun to scratch the surface of, at least by the time of this video. From there, you'll get to choose from 8 different backgrounds, and like in 5e, it is here you'll help decide your character's personality. After you choose your background, you'll have to choose your alignment, and as you make your choice, you'll notice 4 small squares with an adjective to describe your character. These choices will help you decide the attitude and response of your party members as they interact with each other and the other NPCs in the world. Last step of character creation is the all-time favorite of RPGs, appearance. At this point in early access, the choices for each race are a little limited. There are still enough to give each of your party members a little flair. There are 3 faces to choose from, a few skin tones, and hair or beard styles, with quite a few colors for hair and eyes. Lastly, you get to add your name, surname, and even a backstory, which is a nice touch if you want to add even more immersion for yourself. Once you go through these steps for all 4 characters, you'll have a proper party and be ready to start your adventure. Once you start the game, you'll be given a brief video that sets the feel and story of the game, showing you that this is indeed a homebrew passion project set in their very own world. I'll try to save a lot of it for your own experience, but to give an overview, you are in a fantasy world that is still in the early age of exploration of knowledge, with the races coming together to form an alliance to face off against the wilds and unknowns of what they call the Badlands. Much of the game takes place in a capital city called Caer Kefland, interacting with the face of this alliance known as the Legacy Council. They are a variety of races and factions that work together to keep the land safe, and during your course of the game, you'll have a chance to work with these factions and increase your reputation with them. As your reputation increases, you'll get higher quality items and recipes for trade, and other possible rewards I've yet to find at this time. Now, let's talk some nitty-gritty of the game itself. As you explore the world, you'll see that Solasta's UI is fairly simple and clean, and it helps the game stand out more for it. There is not a lot of clutter in the main menu to hunt down what you need, and the in-game menu is nice and easy with each character's inventory and skills being along the same tabs. A log for everything that's happened, separated by the day it happened if you are looking for something in particular. Quest log for your actual goals in the game, a bestiary that gains a knowledge for every enemy you defeat of the same type, and a faction page that shows your reputation with them. The user interface for conversations is similarly clean and simple. As you talk with individuals from different factions, merchants, or other NPCs, the camera will pan to your party and show the options that each character has. The personality traits you chose earlier will start to reflect here, showing how people interact and which ones are more likely to intimidate or persuade others. With some conversations, one of your character might begin with an insight check, and on a success, you will be able to see the percentage that certain dialogues will have to succeed. Occasionally, one of your party members will have a chance to speak to someone on their own, and during these times you can choose one of a few options to keep each conversation unique. The combat in Solasta has a similar feeling to games like Divinity, Baldur's Gate, and even games like Mutant Year Zero, where you can control one or all of your party members outside of combat and explore the world. And in combat, you are limited to a certain number of squares per round, and each player and enemy is limited by their initiative. Along the bottom of the screen, you'll get to see all of the actions your character can take, their bonus actions, and there is even a way to change your weapons between a main and secondary weapon once per round, or your main weapon with a light source. Light has quite an importance in combat, as many enemies, even in dim light, cause your character to get disadvantage on their strikes. There is usually a lot to keep track of during combat, but Solasta makes it easy to keep track as the top right of the screen shows all the buffs and debuffs on each character in initiative. This tracker shows everything from concentration, holding an attack, buffs, debuffs, and how lit they are. So, here we are at the end of my video with my final thoughts on the game. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not part of the tribe yet, and ring that bell for future notifications. Now, if you are looking for a role-playing game that really scratches the itch for tabletops and gets you as close as you can to rolling dice, this is a good one. Since it's in early access, it has the occasional visual bug during cutscenes, but overall, I haven't seen too many bugs that have ruined the feel of the game for me. I've currently put in around 18 hours on Steam, and plan to put in many more with different party combinations. The game definitely feels like there could have been more added to it, but at these early stages, that is expected. Conversations are fun just because I can see how each of my party members' personalities ended up turning out, and combat is a fluid yet tactile experience. There is no multiplayer that I've seen, nor do I know if there will be, but this is one game that definitely doesn't feel like it needs it. So, grab your digital dice, make your party, and explore the beautiful homebrew world of Solasta, Crown of the Magister.
Light is with us.
I will not forget this.
I will not forget this.